Hello crafters, thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I'm Martha and I am getting so excited for Christmas, and I just received my Carte Bleu kit and I am so in love with it. I love all of these gorgeous blue things that it comes with, and you know I'm not necessarily a card maker, but I convert things into scrapbooks. So look at my page. I am so excited on how it came out. So let me show you. I used a large die for the door. I kind of doubled it up and I made it longer. Look at how fun that is. And then I used the same window that comes in the kit with a little table. I made it a little bit longer. And I used one of the legs as a door handle. Is that not so cute? And here, of course, you know I'm going to have a flip or something going on in our page. So look at this. You use the little part of the plate to flip it open. Is that not so fun? And I put kind of like this kind of mirror kind of paper, and then it has a little mirror on this side. Is that not so cute? So then a Christmas scene with gold, and another little Christmas scene here. And then we used the concentric neoclassical type of frame on the back. I thought it just framed that whole beautiful window. Just gorgeous. And then we have some more gorgeous ginger jars at the bottom with a bunch of little Christmas presents on them. I thought I just kind of made it super festive. And then on the other side, I have a nice, large, tall tree that actually is a small tree. I just made many of them. It's from here to here. You can kind of see right here's one tree that goes to here. And then I added tons of little trees and some stars. These little cutie little things come from our little guest open house type of a box, carte Noel box, and the open house box. And then I made another urn right here and added a little Christmas tree with this little one here. Super fun. I'm going to show you step by step on how I put it together. So let's get started. First of all, I'm going to kind of go over all the different type of dies that I was using. Of course, this is the new die, the window die. I know we have a lot of window dies in our collection of dies, but this is the window die that came with the Carte Bleu collection. And so I wanted to use that one. And then the little table came with it, and then all the gorgeous little ginger jars, and I just love them. So I wanted to put that together and do this. So then I went into my collection and got a door. Okay, so this is a door that I put together. Okay, it's the door that comes from, okay, so I used the door that came from this collection. It is the Slimline Decorative Doors and Window Dies. Okay, so I used this one, and let me show you what I did to make it taller, because I wanted it to fill my entire page. What I'm trying to do with it, I'm trying to build a little balance. I have the tall door on this side, and then on this side I wanted to put a tall tree over here. Okay, so in order to make the door taller, you just have to add an extra, let's see how many inches that is. It looks like about 2.5 inches. So what I did is I run the die like normal, and then right here is where the die I put together. Right here is where I did the little gluing together of the die, trying to make it match together. And then I cut out some of these in the little wood linen type of, and kind of just, you know, played around with it. I kind of wanted to do it in the blue colors, but then I just stuck with the brown. I just stuck with the brown here. Okay, and then I used a navy on the back, kind of a little shimmery navy. I'm not sure what paper line that is from. And then of course I wanted it to open and to be functioning, because we can write journals in here, we can do more pictures in this spot. So I wanted it to be that way. And then from this one, this is a wreath, and I was kind of looking through all of my different types of wreaths that I had, and none of them fit like the size of the door that I really wanted. So I pulled out my laurels, and I used the two of the smaller laurels together, just like this. You kind of just turn them around like this, and you have yourself a wreath. How about that? In whatever size you want. So that's what I did with this, and this is the Bleu Die Set. Absolutely beautiful die. All of this gorgeous decoration, the lanterns, the little garland swag on the bottom, the lanterns and the swag, the little bow, all come from this collection. Absolutely fun collection to do. This one is called the Door Dies Decoration. It also has embossing folders for it. So I thought that was really cute, and I knew that I wanted to make my window here in the middle a little bit more grounded. So I used the lanterns on the side, and then I put the table on the bottom. The table is a little bit wider, longer, okay? You see here the table? It's a little bit longer. I did some little gluing together of it right there. I am using quite a bit of the temporary adhesive. I just love using it lately. It helps. It's kind of, I guess, just like doing magnets and putting them down with magnets, but I'm really liking that there. And so when I glued the two together, I ended up with 2 extra legs, and that is what this little handle is. Annie Pence asked me, where did you get that huge, large handle? And it is actually a leg. Look at that. So I've used 2 legs, put them together, and there you have an extra large handle for that. Okay, these are the little ginger jars on that one. And then I did the window, and underneath is one of the big, large frames that we used. We just pull that out. Here we go. Love this one. It is the neoclassical concentric dies. Use the large one, and then I put the window on top. I just thought that would make the window fancier, right? To add extra wood trim around it is what I was thinking. So I did the gold behind it, and then I did 1, 2, 3, 4. I did 4 different dies. Okay, here is the what I'm calling a kind of a mirrored die, and then I have a blue one. Then I did a green Christmas with gold, and then opposite. Okay, so here is what we have there. And I did very easily in the back. You can kind of see it was just the tiny little hinges right here on this side to kind of hinge them together. Super easy to do, not hard at all. Just when you're gluing them together, you can kind of see if I pull these apart more, you can see where the hinges went together, okay? So that is how I did those. And then the little frame, you know that I love a frame. I just can't stand it. But when I don't have the frame on there, my page just looks a little naked. I love the way these frames go around. I went into my collection of basil paper, and I picked out kind of a dull blue that would be like the background to this area. And then went in, this is the scrapbook die trim from last year, Crop at Home 2, and I sliced it in half. So here I added one page here and the other page here. So my chair rail here, I put at the 4 1/4. So from the top to the bottom of my chair rail, it is 4 1/4 right here. I kind of wish I would have dropped it a little bit lower, but I kind of when I was looking at the table and having it sit there, I kind of thought that was enough room after we have this little trim there. Do you see that? I didn't want to make it all go away. So that is where I put the chair rail at 4 1/4. And then I was kind of trying to make sure that I stayed straight on it, and I was kind of holding it up just like if it was wallpaper, just making sure that I was going straight on it. Okay, so that one we're going to add right here. And then let me tell you about this page over here. This is exactly the same paper. I just have 2 of those. And then these 2 frames are from our Christmas collection. They have the little bells on them. I cut it out in red, and then I went back and kind of did a little fussy cutting of some little bells with gold. Same thing here, okay? And then this little bottom planter urn, I do not know what this one is called. It is this little die that comes from this collection. I lost my paper that goes to this. I don't know what I did with it. The Trillage Corona maybe might be what it's called, because that's, for some reason, that's what I have on my little tab. So I did it 3 times. Okay, when you want something to be a little bit bigger, then cut it more. And you can see I did the one in the center, then I used a pop-up dot, and then I kind of made it the shadow bigger so that it looks more profound. Okay, and then here is my little Christmas stars. And this one is the Christmas tree. And I cut the Christmas tree about 4 times. Christmas tree die set. I also think it's from last year. I used this one right here. And I cut it out several times, trying to make sure that I can make it about as tall as the door. Okay, now let's put this all, glue this all back in. Here, these are all temporarily put down with adhesive, the temporary adhesive. So now I'm ready to put this down. And I want to do the edge first. Okay, we're going to put this little blue part down. Okay, there we go. So now we turn it around, and you can see that I have temporary adhesive on this one, and I want to put my door here. Now these two are also just temporarily adhered, because this one I put permanently because I knew that was going to be heavy on it. So here is where I want to put my door. Part of this is I'd like to use the extra strong score tape, and I am kind of putting, I'm really happy that these little sides, my little lanterns, are kind of there, because that kind of tells me how far into the corner I can get or not get. Now we have our door there down, and then when we open this, you can kind of score this really good so that it's easier to open. Okay, and then our little wreath kind of sits right on top. Our red, and then there is a green. So now we need to find a spot for our little table here. And I kind of like it right on the edge of the chair rail. I'm going to go ahead and put some extra strong glue on it. Okay, there we go. And then I'm taking my little lantern, and I'm going to add little wet glue to all of these little pieces. And for the lantern, I have made the lantern in gold and in the blue. You can kind of see the gold and the blue. And then I added red and green swag on it. And I used a pop-up dot for that little gold part. And if I use my ruler right here, this makes it a little bit easier for you to kind of stay as even from right to left on your lanterns. Right there. So when I bring this in, I want to put it in the exact same spot. I have all my bows ready to travel, and I have them in my Leanne bag. So I have them pulled out right there. And I have these kind of in a little, let me see, my Tiffany little bags, and then different color bows with another bag glued on. That's, I don't know. Everybody has their own system. I'm just going to try this out and see if it works for traveling. I like the way that's big enough to carry one accessory that I know that I'm use all the time. Okay, let's switch this out. This is the smaller bow. Oh yeah, I think maybe the big red bow. Perfect. And I put a little bit of hot glue on the very top. I don't use my hot glue gun all the time, but for putting bows, it's my favorite. And since my window is on my table, I am going to have to kind of play around with this because I don't know how I'm going to use this. So we are going to still use a little hot glue because my hot glue is still hot. And this little piece right here. And I'm going to put this little plate on the edge of the table. Okay, I have my hot glue here. Thank goodness it's still working. And I'm going to be using the plate as a key flap to open my window. So it looks like it's sitting on the table when we open it. Okay. I don't know, maybe a ginger jar next. And we have to figure out how to disguise that because that's going to be our flap. When we open this one up, we'll turn this one because the hot glue worked for us earlier. And I'm taking the backing off of it this time. And then I'm going to put the little ginger jar for the back. Now this is going to be challenging because now your ginger jar, when you're flipping it over, is going to be upside down, but we're going to work on that. We'll look at that later. Okay, right now we're trying to adjust and see what we have here. Okay. Now if we put them down, those little things are looking like that. But we have to take one of these apart. Maybe I'm crazy, but I'm thinking this might work. Put it behind this one. Yep. Okay, so if I glue this to the top, it will look like it mimics this area. Okay, so that is what I want to do with that. Okay, you see? So now we have a ginger jar that's half and it can still open, and we still have a ginger jar on the other side. Okay, now what we're going to have to do for the next one here, because our ginger jar is upside down, I'm thinking here we should put some flowers on it or a flourish once we get to that part. Okay, or there's going to be a picture right here, so we won't even have to worry about it. And then the last one here for me is I think I'd like to put some little presents on the table. When I'm putting things together, I don't always have a plan of how I want things to sit, but I move things around quite a bit, waiting for it to sit where I need it to sit. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we're working on this, getting this together. This is the date tag that I wanted to use, and I kind of wanted to kind of sneak it in between here. I thought it would be pretty right there. And then I think maybe some more presents here on the bottom to kind of add the presents overflowing. Right there. Glue for me sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. But what I do know is that it does kind of do a dimensional, kind of gives you a little bit of a pop-up dot, but not too much. Okay, so there is my little window here. Okay, we have our table with our little ginger jars. We have some little presents. And here we have our little area. So that is how I'm finishing this up. Now let's go look at the other side. Looks really cute together. And we'll move this one out of the way. And on this one, I'm going to wait to do this one a little bit closer to the end. Let's work on this Christmas tree because I thought I had all of this down with temporary glue, okay? Temporary adhesive. Okay, and what I want to do with this, I know it looks crazy, but I'm turning it upside down, and I want the same height, if that makes any sense, as my door. So here is where my Christmas tree, I'm thinking of putting. I used pop-up dots on that one, so it's together. And this one is a red and green one, and then the gold and green, and I used a pop-up dot to kind of give it a little dimension. So I'm thinking that would be good for the bottom. This one's just a filler here and there. If I have a star on the top, and that would have to be after this little edge, we have to drop and make our little tree a little bit lower. So I think there, and then our tree can start right there, and then we still have this one at the bottom around there. So let's put down this one first. We're going to use a little bit of wet glue. So we want our tree to be a little bit more over here because we're going to have the ribbon here of trim. I don't know if anybody can hear that, but that's my dog snoring. Snoring. And I'm going to cut off the little stump of my tree here because I don't know if I'm going to be able to see it or not. Kind of wanted to add my little tree like this. So this tree with the planter I'm going to add after I add my ribbon around because I think I will be able to see it better of where I want it to sit. And this one I just kind of want to add a little extra red to the tree. Okay, and then we're hoping that this is going to hide. See how that little tree is right on that edge? There we go. Okay, now where is our Christmas tree at with our urn? We want our urn to kind of be sitting here. So why don't we put our urn down first? And I am centering my urn from there and straight down. And I am perfectly okay with my urn being off of the edge because I'm not going to cut it off. Then this one can be inside. Look at that. I love it. Over that temporary double-sided tape that I was using. I'm really loving that. It really helped me kind of sketch out in real life where my elements were for my page. Plus all of my friends that were giving me their tidbits of what was information that I should do or not do. Okay. And I love that my tree is outside. And then I'm just going to cut these little pieces off. I think it looks really pretty different that it is not under the little edging. See how that is? Oh, I'm loving that. Okay, so now we have our little stars. So if you see, these are my next elements. Here we go. And I'm looking at kind of eyeballing that I've got about the same amount of space between the top and the bottom. Okay. And then we have tons and tons of presents to put on the bottom, right? So let's see what kind of presents we want to put on the bottom. These right here, the candy box that we made last year, and I ran them in gold and then in print. And then I just cut out the ribbon parts, right? Why not? Why can't we cut out the ribbon parts? That's all we want. Okay. Then I think we need some little presents always are a good little balancing act. There is my Carte Bleu Christmas. Carte Bleu Christmas. I didn't know I was going to make a Carte Bleu Christmas page, but now there we are. And I really think I need some poinsettias. So I was thinking there might be some poinsettias somewhere. Shouldn't Santa Claus be somewhere there? Yes, he should, definitely. There we go. Wouldn't that be pretty? A little Christmas tree. A little Christmas tree on top of the table. Doesn't everybody have a Christmas tree on top of a table? I think so. Lots of little things in there. These all come from the Christmas things that we use. Open House Christmas and the Open House Christmas. What was the other one called? Let's look and see what kind of cutie things we have in here to put. Look at that. Itty bitty little sticker. Added some holly underneath my lantern. That is just too cute. Makes it look realistic. The next one. Very cute. And I think if we add some... There we go. Look at how our wreath just became so special. How fun is that? Might have to build one of those houses just to decorate it and play. Let's put all this itty bitty stuff back because I'll never find it again. We did a double spread page with Carte Bleu. Bleu. I don't know how to speak French, so I don't know how to say it correctly. But I am loving how my little house came out. The little door is so darling. I just think it's adorable. We can sneak in more pictures into this space. And then we have the little window pop-up that opens up. And you can see that. Isn't that just so fun to do? And then right here, you have two gorgeous spots for pages and pictures. And then we're balancing the huge tall door with a huge tall Christmas tree, presents at the bottom, more presents galore. So I am super happy how this came out. Thank you so much for stopping by and looking at my creations. I'm so happy you're here with me. Thank you so much. Leave me a thumbs up, talk to me, and subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye.